guys, it's Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Back with another tutorial. And today, all of the tips and tricks are not coming from me. They're coming from you guys. Let's jump into it. Another tutorial, and as I mentioned just a minute ago, these tips and tricks are coming from our community. Did you know that we have a group page? We do. It's over on Facebook. If you look up Oh You're Lovely or put a flower on it, I think you should be able to find it. You can also find it directly from our Facebook page, answer a couple questions, get in the group, have some fun. We have well over 5,000 members now, and it's a ton of fun. And in that group, tips and tricks are shared, and I thought I've gathered a couple of them that I think are super fun and interesting, and I want to give them a whirl. So I figured we'll do that together. The one thing I want to note, we'll just do a little asterisk here. These tips and tricks most likely will work. However, if they don't, it is completely my fault. User error, has nothing to do with the person that shared the tip or trick, because it worked for them, obviously. So it definitely works. I probably just misunderstood what they were saying. It happens. I'm well aware of it, and I'm not changing a thing. So let's jump into it, shall we? And we'll start off with, I don't know what we're gonna start off with. Well, sorry, I'm train of thought gone. Let's just jump into it, shall we? And these are all tips and, never mind. I'm like rambling. Why am I rambling? No supply list, because I'll share it within each of the tips and tricks. Fair? Fair. All right. Let's jump into it. All right, so this first tip is how to create some really cute spray roses in an arrangement that you're working on. And I'm going to pop in a photo, probably right here, of a finished piece. This is done by April. I'm not sure I'm gonna remember everybody's name. I know April. She's very active in our group. There's her piece, and I'm gonna show you how she created those little spray roses. It's super easy, and I can't believe that I didn't think to share that with you guys. So, for this little trick, you're going to need, I would prefer, in all honesty, floral tape, but all I have is my vinyl. So we're gonna use that. Now, April did not say how she put it all together. She just bundled 3 together. So I'm gonna do it this way. She may do it a different way. I'm gonna be using paddle wire instead of the normal floral stem wires that we use very often. This is gonna be a 22 gauge because we're gonna bundle them together. So it's gonna be a little bit easier to bundle them all together with a little bit of a bendy wire. And then we're gonna be using the Lovelies, I think this one you'll find, I don't know if it's by itself on the site right now. You can also get these in our mini mix, which is a big fan favorite. So I'm going to clip off 3 pieces of the paddle wire. Super simple. And Vikram over there, he's all warmed up, ready to go. He knows, he's got a runny nose and he knows what his job is today, which is to warm up that glue. So I'm gonna put a little bit of, well, first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop a hole in here first, because paddle wire and stemming flowers can be a little finicky. And I'm just gonna pop that in there. Simple Simon. We'll get all 3 done. Pinch this together. I'm gonna take one of the wires and wrap it around the other ones. Wrap this a little bit tighter. If you're gonna dye these, I would probably dye them before you stem them up. So now, and then what we're gonna do to finish this off, and this is where I think floral tape might work a little bit better because this sticks out a little bit. I'm not gonna go all the way up the top. I'm gonna start kind of baseline because then it's sitting in there, and the rest that's holding it all together will be nice and clean, but I feel like the shininess of this really stands out. If it's too close to the top, it's gonna peek through a little bit. If you do go the route of doing floral tape instead, you want to make sure the little trick to that is to pull the tape apart. Sorry, I had a train. Apparently today is the day where I'm gonna forget all my words. Not just a few of them, all of them. If you're using floral tape, make sure to stretch it to activate it. Those were the words I was looking for. And then I'm gonna stop right here. I'm going to trim my wires so they're all the same length. And there you go. Now you have a cute little bundle that when put into an arrangement looks like a perfect little bundle of spray roses. Thanks, April, for the tip. I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you make something with it, make sure to share in the group and let us know. Okay, for this next little trick, we're gonna get old school and have some art project time, shall we? You're gonna need a piece of paper. Cardstock might work as well. The flower that you're gonna want to use. Now I should probably backtrack and tell you what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is some of our flowers, you want just the center to be painted. Now typically what I do, and I think we've shown this in different tutorials, is I pull all of my petals back and I dip dye it. Now when you do that, there's still the chance to run that you might have some paint stick to something or run a little bit. So it's not completely foolproof. So there was a trick, and I can't remember who shared this one, I'm sorry. But there's a trick to create like a little shield, a little guard, if you will. So get yourself a piece of paper, and I'm gonna be using a Mona Lisa. This is how I did it. There's probably an easier way to do it, but what I did was I traced the outer edges, because I wanna go all the way up, even though you could probably go a little bit smaller. And I kind of just traced the outward edges. And we're gonna cut it with the scissors. I'm gonna take this and I'm just going to kind of roughly, and this is where there's probably a way to do this. Well, actually, let's see. We just cut a little line. Kind of start. No, okay. I'm just gonna do it the way I was doing it the first time. I'm just kind of feeling around for where my kind of palm center is. This doesn't need to be perfect, but there's kind of where I kind of feel like it is. I'm gonna slide that around our palm center. And then once you have your template, you pretty much can do that over and over and over again, depending on the flower style that you're doing this for, so you can have a whole conveyor belt of them going. This one I think I made a little too small. We're gonna make it work though. And if you break some of the center, palm kind of center parts, it's okay. It happens. We're moving stuff around there. No, behave yourselves. I got one to do it. This is where I said, remember, this is probably user-operated issues, not the tippy's suggestion. All right, that one was a little bit harder to work with. This one worked out a little bit easier. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just go in with a brush. You could also airbrush. This is a good tip for if you're airbrushing centers, that you kind of create a guard so you don't have to be as mindful of where the spray is going, so to speak. I'm gonna just use a paintbrush. So this is some of the yellow we used for the rainbow flowers actually recently. If you haven't checked out that video, go give it a like after you watch this one. And I'm just gonna use a paintbrush and some watered down craft acrylic paint, and we're gonna paint the center, all right? So let me bring on the camera down and we'll give it a go. All right. There's that. Check that out one more time because it's been sitting for a day or two or a week, whatever. Details. Oh, I should probably have had something to dry all my flowers on. Oh well. And so I'm just going around. And again, sometimes when you're painting the centers, you're gonna get some fluff off happen. That's totally normal and should not affect the finish piece at all. Gently remove that. And there we go. I think this tip is great. I just had a little bit of issues making my little collar, but a couple times you'll get the hang of it for sure. All right, on to our last and final tip or trick, and that is how to hide the center in order to color the rest of the flower. So for this trick, you are gonna need cotton balls, which I just realized I don't have cotton balls. Have no fear, we're gonna go on a little field trip. So let's go do that real fast. We'll come back to the studio and we'll finish up this tutorial. Of course, go figure. It's raining. Beautiful, glorious morning. Makes me sick. It doesn't. Well, it does, but it's not because it's beautiful and glorious. All right, off to the dollar store we go. Okay, so I went in for one item. This never fails, but you go into the dollar store, you spend $30. Like, it just, I don't know how it happens. Well, I do, because I can't. Look at, I won't do a whole haul of what I got, but there's like, it's squishy or like pulley, and then there's an egg inside there. So I think before Easter, I'm just gonna randomly hide these around my house for the kids. And then they can reuse them if they want to. Oh, bravo, dollar store, bravo. These are so stinking adorable. I also did grab one of the, actually I grabbed two of these. I have an idea for an upcoming tutorial. It's not gonna be anything to do with Easter. I think we're gonna just reuse this possibly for a May Day gift. And if you don't know about May Day, maybe this is the year that I talk about it because I'm obsessed with that day. So, and then an unhealthy amount of jelly beans in all sorts of different flavors. They now have Fruit Loop jelly beans. We're gonna give those a go. I don't think there'll be any interest, but leave me a message in the comments if you want to know what I think of the Fruit Loop jelly beans. We'll try those later. I, of course, still got sour bunnies. These are my favorites. Not the bunnies necessarily, just sour candy. I'm an adult. I am. All right, let's go finish this tutorial, shall we? Your guys' opinion on this. Maggie number 2, if you're not aware, there's 2 Maggies. Oh, You're Lovely, my business partner Maggie, is Maggie number 1, and then our wholesale director. If you ever order from us wholesale and you have questions, that's the gal that will be talking with you, and that's Maggie number 2, as we lovingly refer to her as. She and I have a debate, and I would love your guys' thoughts on this. She believes that any Diet Coke is great Diet Coke. I believe there is a tiered system, and number 1 at the tippy top is Diet Coke from McDonald's, and I think it might be the same for regular Coke, not just Diet Coke. McDonald's first, always and forever, then soda fountain, like fountain type style. Then I'm gonna go with can. I don't know if there's a difference between a plastic bottle versus a glass bottle. I don't know that I've ever drank a Diet Coke out of a glass bottle. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Also, my Diet Coke obsession has to end soon. I love it so much. I've never been a soda drinker until about 2 months ago. And now I can't sleep without thinking about it. Like, I dream about it. I love it. I want to wake up and have myself a Diet Coke. Do I though? No. No, I do not. But I'm gonna have one now. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's okay. I can have one now. But seriously, I want to know. I'm waiting to pay. So I'm not driving. I'm driving less than 5 miles an hour. I'm driving, not even. I'm driving like a snail pace. Anywhoosies, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is there a hierarchy of Diet Cokes, or is any Diet Coke a decent Diet Coke? I really, really, really want to prove number 2 wrong. She watches these. So she knows. Help your girl out. Caught me red-handed. Sorry. So I'm $30 poorer, and I decided, I was like, well, you know what we haven't done in a long time? We haven't airbrushed in a long time. And that's a for sure fact. I have not airbrushed probably in about a year, at least. And I'm a little rusty at it. I made a huge mess, but we're gonna try this, and we're gonna do this. Why am I gonna do this? Because I apparently like to make messes. We're gonna try something on top of trying out this technique, and what I think we're gonna try out, we did a tutorial a while ago about liquid watercolor, and I had this like hunch thinking that it would probably pass through an airbrush really well. The thing with airbrush, if you've never tried to do airbrushing before, is the paint needs to be super thin. And so what I'm using is actually High Flow from Golden, like these little bottles. This stuff is not cheap, but it's already the thin consistency you need. Otherwise, what you need to do, I would not. First off, we're gonna have like a mini tutorial in the tutorial. Do not use latex paint in your airbrush. I know it'll go through a couple times, but in the end, it typically ruins your airbrush. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just letting you know. Don't put latex in your airbrush. That's my strong personal opinion. However, you can use craft paint. You want to use a medium that thins it out, but because I wanted to be efficient and not make a mess, obviously that didn't completely work, but I'm gonna use the High Flow because it's already the right consistency. And then again, we're gonna try the liquid watercolor. So I have 2 different paintbrush or airbrushes out. I don't know if this one's gonna work. This one is one of my tried and true besties, which is model, let's see, G22. They're also linked on our website under the shopping guide. But we're gonna use this one. I gotta turn on my air compressor. So we're gonna give this a try using, okay, so what we're gonna do is I already have these, oh, don't get paint on them. I have this ranunculus, this little, lovely little, marigold. They're already colored in the centers, and then I also worked on a Charleston. There it is, Charleston. So I've got the center. I think for Charleston, we're going to hand paint it. Maybe. Oh, and then I also have this ginormous anemone from Mona Lisa. So maybe we'll do that too. Oh, we could use the one that we did for the other test round. Okay, we've got flowers now. Got flowers galore. Gizmos and gadgets aplenty. So let's dive into it. I need a drink of this Diet Coke. Did you guys all comment below? Is there a hierarchy of Diet Coke goodness? All right, I also grabbed these cotton rounds as a backup, possibly. So let's bust out these. And then we'll get our airbrush going. So the thought process behind this is to take your little cotton ball and cover what you're going to be dyeing. See if this works. This might work better for hand painting. My hands are gonna get full of medium. How can we make this work a little bit better? Maybe a pin. I have an idea. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Fluoro pins. I think that's gonna, because it's got that, it's kind of like a sewing needle where it's got the little thingamajig on the top. Just don't poke your finger. Should be able to go right in there. Possibly. Now we actually even have a little thing to hold our flower. Okay. All right, I'm gonna grab that one. I'm going to grab this one. We'll just prep these all. I'm gonna pull this apart. And this might not be practical depending on the application, However, depending on what you're doing, this might be super helpful as far as the layering of colors go. Okay, so for this little guy, I'm going to use the cotton round, and of course I just ripped off the whole thing. Why not? Who needs to seal up a cotton round? Okay, so I'm gonna cut this up. This again, like if you have everything the same, you can do the same thing over and over again and everything is set. It's kind of like a assembly line. There's that one. One more, so I've got or two more. Got this one. I'm gonna spray this with a little bit of water to help the other petals open up a little bit. We're gonna kind of open those up. I'm gonna take my lovely cotton round. This one might be a little bit better, not for airbrushing, is what I'm thinking. I think this one, well, we'll see. There's that, okay. Fingers crossed this works for this one, because this could be actually a really cool anemone that has, or a poppy that has like the white and then a solid color. We'll see. Okay, sorry, I got really excited for a second. Let's jump into the airbrushing part of this, shall we? All right, I did a couple test rounds just to make sure. I don't know why I haven't airbrushed in such a long time. It's so much fun. So this one doesn't have anything special in the center. I also just grabbed those spray roses that we worked on and now they're colored. Okay, so let's see. Shall we? All right. So this is the Mona Lisa that has a yellow center. We're not even gonna troubleshoot because I can't put everything down. So we're gonna put this down. We'll switch to another flower and then we will, I'll show you how they all turned out at the end. Okay, so I was going to use the liquid watercolor in a different airbrush and I got it all set up and the airbrush didn't work, which I had a feeling might happen. So what I did was I just poured out the paint that was in here, put it back in my cup, put my liquid watercolor, which this is fuchsia, and just kind of mixed it all up, shook it up a little bit, ran it through, put it on top of this, so now you can kind of see the color difference. We'll see how much pink I can get it to kind of come through. So I'm gonna grab this ranunculus that I already had like kind of dusted with that peachy kind of color, and we're gonna try to get a more pinky color going. Okay, one thing I'll note is when you're far away, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like some little splatters versus the other stuff didn't do that. So the watercolor is doing a little bit more of a spray pattern, so you want to get probably a little bit closer than far away, otherwise you're going to have all those speckles. Or maybe it's just that it's starting to be sassy. We'll see. Possibly sassy. Or am I empty? Am I already out? That doesn't make sense. I'm already out! I'm not gonna even clean my hands. Let's just jump into it, shall we? All right, so this was the Mona Lisa with the black center for an anemone. Dun, dun, dun. Gosh, this is fun. And it worked out, like, I think you could, if it was a smaller middle center too, you could definitely get that more distinct line in between. All right, here is the little marigold with the green center. Oh, I didn't do any hand painting. I bet that would work, hand painting too. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Okay, here's the yellow center one. Oh, that one I smushed the yellow center. Still super cute. That's that. Okay, here's the ranunculus. Now this one, again, was a little bit harder with the center. I'm digging it though. I'm not mad about this. I'm not mad at all. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, and here is our Charleston. I had to think for a second. Is this not like a over the top, opened up, like panty if I've ever seen one? I love you. All right, that one worked too. Yes! That was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, let's wrap this all up, shall we? All right, you guys, we tried out a couple different things. Everything worked. We made a big mess. That's always fun. And we had a little field trip. I mean, all in all, a really good day. So again, we did the taking 3 little lovelies, wrapping them up together to create some spray roses for an arrangement. We figured out how to dye the centers of flowers without getting paint all over the place. And then we figured out how to, if we've already colored the center but want the outside to be all a pretty color, how to do that too. And there was a little airbrush tutorial in there too. My gosh, this has everything. There was tears, there was laughter, there was probably a little bit of screaming, more on my end than your end, but nonetheless, what a freaking fun tutorial. Lots of ups and downs, but all in the best way. It was like a roller coaster of goodness. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. If you guys are loving these tutorials, can't get enough, want to know when the next one goes live, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell to find out about the 150 style solo wood flowers, along with craft supplies and greenery. Go to ohyourlovely.com, but before you scoot off, hold up, wait a minute, I have something for you. Use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off your first order. I'm so excited about this. I gotta go wash my hands. But other than that, this was a ton of fun. Again, thank you guys so much to the people within our community who gave me these tips and tricks and gave me the go-ahead to share. I appreciate you guys so much. The group is so much fun, and if you'd like to join, we'd love to have you. So take a look at that as well. And I'll see you right here for another tutorial. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and you, my friends, are absolutely lovely. Bye, guys.